have a present for you all. We are going to react to a completely new game today. You guys have been requesting this for like probably a year or longer. By this point, we are going to actually dive into Sekiro. Finally, I am so excited because as you guys have told me, and when I've done my research, like most of the soundtrack is composed by Yuka Kitamura. Oh my god, I am bursting at the seams. Like I cannot wait to dive in. We have a couple of tracks today. These are mostly from I believe a member request, but we have Gyoubu Oniwa, Genichiro Ashina, Corrupted Monk, and then I think I'll have time for one more, which on my list is Apparitions. So without further ado, let's get to it. Very first track, Gyoubu Oniwa. Bit of a time signature change there. Nice key change. Let's go. Oh, interesting. Okay. I thought it was going to be longer because the video was longer, but I guess there's like a little thing at the end. That was a pretty cool first track. So much inspiration and just like the instrumentation, it's all pulled from Japanese, just the culture and the traditional instruments that we have. Like I think you're hearing kind of like a pan flute and a lot of the really cool drums that are specific to Japan. I'm blanking on the names of them, like taiko drums, I believe. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this track. It's really cool. I think there was a second phase, possibly, but it was pretty darn seamless. Like I really like the transition that they used in between the two like sections, if you will. Yeah, this track's not giving me too much information into like who Gyoubu Oniwa is and like what kind of boss or like move sets, you know, there are. Very interesting. In general, I really like it. Let's move on to the next one, which is Genichiro Ashina. cinematic. Sound effects in there. Okay, interesting. There were some really cool string runs happening, kind of similar to the first track. We had a couple of moments where the strings were just going crazy, you know, up and down the scales and doing some chromaticism and things like that. Again, instrumentation, kind of similar to the first track, not too much different there. There are like kind of vocals, choir happening. There was, I think, a cello in there. I couldn't tell if it was a cello or viola or maybe like a koto or something, like a Japanese traditional stringed instrument, just because the timbre was a little bit too bright for a cello normally, unless when they did the post-production on the track, the recording, like maybe they made it sound a bit more, you know, nasal and kind of boost the higher frequencies, but not really my favorite. There was some dissonance and, again, a lot of tension with this track. I mean, it is a boss track, I believe, so that makes sense. I'm waiting for some, like, beautiful melodic lines, so hopefully we'll get that in one of the tracks today, or if not, maybe in another video. Again, no idea what kind of boss this is, but it's very much rooted in Japan, so I'm assuming these are probably all human bosses, maybe? I don't know. I mean, they seem like actual names, right? All of these titles. I want to say they're probably mostly human bosses and not like beasts, which usually you have in like the other FromSoft series. But let's move on to the next one. This is Corrupted Monk. I like the syncopation. It's cool with these little percussive things. I don't know what it is, but okay. That. Whatever that is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna pause here before we get into like this next phase. The very beginning is so genius. I don't know if you were able to kind of recognize it, but okay, the title is Corrupted Monk, right? And we have like some sort of, it might not be a true pentatonic, but there was some sort of melody that we heard, right? It kind of danced around the correct pitches where it sounded kind of goopy and like was unsure. And I think that is kind of a nice musical parallel to corruption, right? When you're corrupted, you're not pure. It's just reminding me of like you're just dripping something and you just can't control it, right? So it's like as if the music can't control itself. It can't actually play the melody as it's supposed to be played, and it kind of ends up going up sharply or down a little bit from the pitch that it needs to, you know, stay on. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's try to listen to this again. Right there. There too. So you have these chromatic notes, right? Right, those are all half steps, and in a typical pentatonic scale you don't have those notes at all, so it just feels like it's bleeding out from the pentatonic and like into all these other notes that typically you don't want to use when you're scoring Japanese music. I'll play it one more time. Right? So it kind of reminds me of like if someone is like poisoned or something, right? And they're trying so hard to do what they're supposed to do. Even just walking can be difficult if someone's poisoned enough, right? Like think of Pokemon even. Your Pokemon is poisoned and it like takes a HP hit every single step or every other step when you're walking outside of a battle. There's some kind of effect that is happening where the monk himself is corrupted, and I don't know if he is poisoned or if there's like a evil corruption, like something is taking control of him and making it so he can't, like musically, like the melody cannot play the way it's supposed to be played. I don't know. That could be stretching it, but I think that is probably more intentional than accidental at this point. Now we're gonna skip back to like the sort of halfway point so we can get into phase 2. I'm assuming is phase 2. I need to know like what instrument that is. Is it a sound effect or is it an actual percussion instrument? Still a decent amount of accidentals. The low strings are kind of cool. That one was cooler to me, probably just because I felt like there was some sort of musical parallel to the title, Corrupted Monk. Man, the low strings in the second half of the track, they were definitely keeping that momentum going, right? You have like just a bump, 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 but then at some point they do almost like an accent of whatever the melody's doing. So they drop out, you hear the melody, and then they come in to like accentuate part of that melody later on. Let's see if I can find it. So here you have it, straight, right? They do bum bum ba da dum, bum bum, you know, whatever is bum bum ba da dum. They come in to basically accentuate and keep this thing going, right? The other thing is most of the times when these lower strings, like the hits, come in, the higher strings are kind of holding the notes a bit. So there's not as much movement in the upper end of the frequency range. And so then we have the opposite happen in the lower range. So it's a really good balance, basically. Yeah, okay. All right. I am liking this track. It is still tense and dissonant, but I think because it is a bit more tasteful, and again, I'm assuming it has relevance to the title and to the boss, it's something that's a lot more palatable to me. Okay, last track for today is Apparitions. Oh. Ooh. Immediately. That delay going, the ambiance. The strings just holding. Wow. Definitely spooky. Panning. Staccato. Okay. It sounds like a monk humming. I really don't like those high squeaks. Yeah, this is unsettling for sure. Not sure if it looped already. Dang. I see. I just gotta do like a fade out. Okay. I mean, I should have known Apparitions. It's gonna sound a little spooky and scary. Very effective though. All of the kind of like sound effects that you're hearing, like almost like door creaks and some other squeaks and just a whole bunch of like percussive hits that just come out of nowhere, right? So it's supposed to be unsettling, right? So I'm not sure if you're like in like a haunted area or just some place where a lot of people have died and you actually might be seeing ghosts. I don't know. I felt like I was hearing a monk kind of humming. Like, you know how a lot of them have like, I guess they could do throat singing sometimes. I don't know. Like I just think of like them doing their chants, right? But sometimes their chants might not have actual words to them. So maybe they hum them. I don't know. There's something very interesting about that inclusion of that kind of humming sound. Yeah, okay. I don't know if it tells me who composed what. No. This one just says the original soundtrack is by Yuka. I don't think it specifies which, composer wrote each individual track here. But okay, well, I am still looking for the really beautiful melodic pieces that Yuka is like so well known for. We did hear a little bit of something in Corrupted Monk. I was able to latch on to a melody there, even though it was kind of teetering on insanity almost. Yeah, I'm hopeful that in the next video we will be hearing some really cool motifs or just melodies in general from Yuka, because you know how much I love her work in the previous FromSoft games, Dark Souls series especially. So I'm excited to listen to these other tracks on my playlist. I will list them out for you right now. These are the ones that I have currently on the playlist: Okami Lineage, Gentle Blade, The Phantom Lady Butterfly, and then Divine Dragon. I believe there were several other suggestions in my previous videos of, you know, other FromSoft games. So I will probably go through those comments and add some of the other ones that have been upvoted, but feel free to comment below if there are other tracks that you really want me to react to from this OST, because yeah, we're gonna be doing more Sekiro stuff for sure. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks for another video. Bye! Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button and also subscribe. It tells YouTube that you enjoy my content and you want to see more of it. And of course, if you'd like to get early access to these types of videos, take a look at the membership tiers that I have available. You can get the early access, your suggestions prioritized, and you can even get your names in these videos, like these amazing people right here. So feel free to check it out.